from Strizzy Report here, where it's all about moving smarter. And right now, I got an old friend, um, just a confidant, and he's a true hustler right here. His name is Theo Jones, Thelonious C. Jones. What's going on, brother?
I'm glad to be in the place, you know. That's it. No complaints. And yourself?
Yeah. Oh man, doing fantastic, doing fantastic. Cannot complain, man. We had a conversation just like what, a couple days ago, where you told me about some of the things you've been experiencing. But before we get into that, because I think that's going to be huge for folks that are owning land and all of that, but also just for all the Americans out there that just really they're gonna get smushed. They're gonna get crushed with these tariffs, and some of these companies are already taking advantage of people. And I'm glad we had this platform to take it to light. But before all of that, tell us about yourself. What you doing now? Where you at? Where you located in America, man?
I'm in Macon County, Alabama. The same county of Tuskegee, the great University of Tuskegee, Tuskegee University, whatever it may be. But yeah, I'm about 7 miles away from Tuskegee, Macon County. Lived in Atlanta for a long half my life, and I just moved down here, last summer. So yeah, it's a blessing. And I've been doing contracting, um, it just forever. So it's just contracting.
Forever.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't think it's gonna stop. And then of course, we trying to develop the land, develop the farm, and uh, just live more simple life, almost off grid, So just trying to take those baby steps. But that's it, man. Just hustling to really live, but like how we talk, just live how our great grandparents used to live, because they lived a simple life. They did not have to depend on the grocery store. They did not have a ton of taxes, and they were just more self-reliant. So that's all I'm trying to get to, because I feel like my great grandparents, and every family is different. Really lived a pure life. My great grandparents and my great great grandparents. That's just based off my understanding of my family.
Got you, got you. So you saying, because when we met, you were in Atlanta. What made you move from Atlanta though?
The biggest.
Georgia. I mean, I just did a video on Georgia.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Two things. I want to move a place where there was no property restrictions. That was the biggest issue in my mind. So yes, did I try to find land in Georgia? Yes, but unfortunately, Georgia has too many restrictions. What is a restriction? I'm gonna just tell you real quick. So I was looking at a property that I really wanted in Twiggs County, which is just a little east of Macon, Georgia. I called the department and I said, "Hey man, I had already had my container house. I'm in it right now, so had this already purchased, and I was trying to move it to my land, and the land I was trying to buy. And oh, I'm sorry. Let me back up one step. I'm trying to make, I don't, I'm trying to keep this concise. So look, I was down in Florida getting my container house built 2021. My partner had bought some land from a company that finances the land for you. So I bought that land, 3/4 of an acre. Then I started looking up the codes, the restrictions. You have to build a 750 square foot home. So that would mean my one container house would have to be expanded to three, which you're going from like
Mhm.
40,000 to well close to 100, and that's
Yeah.
just the contain. That's just the house. So I'm like, I just found it interesting because these same people are telling you the world's ending, it's global warming, stop the driving around, do this, do that. But then on the other hand, no, you got to build a big ass gigantic house for no reason, even though you're not gonna use it. So I decided not to move to Florida. And then I started to look in Georgia. I looked in Macon, called down there in Twiggs County. It was 4 acres. I called the guy, and I remember this bit. I'm like, hey man, how many? First of all, I called him. Can you have a container house on the property? No. Called him back a couple of days later. Hey, can you have a cabin on the property? Yes. So then I was taking a couple of days to reflect, like, what is the difference between a container and a cabin? I'm not even going to go there. But then I called him back one more time. I'm like, hey, man, what's up with the animals, man? What if I want to have some chickens? He was like, man, you could have 5 animals. I said, well, sir, is that chickens too? Or are you just talking about like livestock. He was like, no, that's chicken. So I'm thinking to myself, sir, the chicken you eat in the store is grown tightly confined spaces, and you want me to have 5 chickens on 4 acres. That's when I came to the point where, yeah, I need to go over to Alabama, because Alabama, and it's funny because I'm born and raised in Northern California, Oakland, California to be exact. And
Uh-oh.
when you're born in the North, and this is probably the same for you because you're from up North, I'm from out West. They always tell you people in the South are slow. Things in
For real.
are
Yep.
slow.
Yep.
It's backwards. No, 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 no. We're slow for letting these people tell us what we could do on our land. The people in Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, no, that ain't slow. Because I could go out right now and go fire my gun off. I can do whatever. I can go build another house tomorrow. I can do whatever I want to do on this property. There's no restrictions. So, hey, that's why I chose Alabama, because I believe in freedom. So,
Yeah.
Alabama
Yeah.
means freedom to me. So, what other people will call slow, I call freedom. So,
Freedom. 100%.
that's it.
100%. And you know, I lived in Tennessee and I said, you know, all roads lead back to Tennessee. It's my favorite state.
Yep.
100%. And right now they're seeing a little boom. But you know, when you said that you got the land, because I went through the whole thing with you, you know, kind of understanding your experience because I was there. So when you say you got the land and then seeing it come to fruition, getting the container home and then actually farming on the land and then, you know, growing your own mushrooms, your peppers, your beets now is what I'm saying. So that whole thing and what you said about freedom, I think people got that misconstrued. They think they free to drive around the city or free to go to the grocery. That ain't real freedom. You know what I mean? And so I was thinking about this the other day, like what is the American dream, right? And the American dream wasn't to go get the house. The American dream is only about freedom, the freedom to do or not to do, right? So you got that in Alabama. You got the container home. You got one, two there. I think I saw two there,
I
sir.
have, okay, I have one 40-foot container house. I have another 40-foot container storage, and my solar system is in there. And then I have another 45-foot container that it's, I'm gonna be developing over time. So yeah, I got 3 containers on the property
Yeah.
right now. Uh-huh. Yep.
Right. So how many we're gonna get into another video because I think it's gonna be a recurring theme for us to bring freedom back to the people's mindset and knowing what real freedom is from fake freedom, right? And so now you're on the land and you have to make sure that you got your energy, you know, you got your water, you got all these things that you need to live, right? And with that comes some cost, right? With untethering yourself from the government and subsidy, you know, it comes with some cost. So you've been dealing with some solar panel things where I think you upgraded your solar, you upgraded your power, right? So what's that? First of all, what's the process like doing that? How expensive is that? And then where you finding there's some issues coming in with that in Alabama on the land, just going tethering yourself off grid, but more so doing it economically.
The biggest issue I think with the solar is is just figuring out how much you need. Okay,
Yeah.
back up. Unless you just got unlimited money to, you could just overbuy batteries and panels. But you know, the average person is on a budget. The solar system for this 300 square foot house probably cost, I would say, a minimum 15, probably closer to 20,000. But all the work was done by me and my father. So if you would have pay for installer, you're probably looking at another 20, 30,000 on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
$60,000 easily. And I still have a couple upgrades I'm gonna have to do this summer, this year. So it's everything's operating correctly, but it's still like, man, I still can have a little more. You know what I mean? So it's still how much you need. Then when you want to build another house, how much more do you need for that? So it's always figuring out, okay, everything's gonna revolve around the power, the solar. How much
Right.
It's a lot of like I said, for me, I'm not just gonna cash out 50,000 off strength because I can put that money towards the farm, towards this, or that. So I'm just gonna figure out, okay, let me put the minimal amount, get the most return. Then when I get some money off the property, keep investing into the solar. So
Facts.
that's where I'm at right
Facts.
now. Uh-huh.
So what are you growing out there?
The main thing right now is the mushrooms. I planted maybe 12 peach trees. I got some blueberry plants, got some blackberries, got some raspberry plants. And this year, and those plants obviously, they stay in the ground years versus these other crops I will mention. But the other crops I'm really focusing on this year is going to be garlic, onions, because I don't have to deal with the pest as much. Then really
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
tomatoes and peppers. That's really what I want to focus on. You know what I mean? May do a little okra run, but that, and then I'm gonna probably just do a little corn patch. And just keep it.
Yep.
I don't want to get too. I don't want to overextend myself. The mushrooms are a lot of work already, and I don't want to be overextending myself, growing a whole bunch of food that I can't eat or that I can't sell, that I just got to give away and hope that somebody eats it, and or I got to buy a whole bunch of canning stuff to store it. Then I got to find a place to store because, like I said, I know
Facts.
containers don't have mini splits on them. They will in a couple months, but I'm just saying all that stuff. Like I said, if I want to put a mini split on there, then I got to look at the solar. So it's like all these levels to things, and I'm just
Yeah.
trying to keep it
Yeah.
even keel level so I don't have to.
That balance. Yeah.
Exactly. Until you start,
Yeah.
my goal is how to get the money out the land before you keep spending a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, we can go out, I can go to
Facts.
mall, buy all this stuff, and what does it mean? If I can't get that out off the property, like our great grandparents used to do. They used to get the money off
Right.
the land to keep investing. So that's what I'm trying to
Right.
do. Mm-hmm.
That's dope. Like to think like, just make sure that that land has a ROI and continue investing prior to just dumping, dumping, dumping. And that's just the change in mind thought that I think there's a switch that happens, you know what I mean? In all our lives. And I know you guys are going through it too, where it's like, does it make sense to go out and eat 5 times a week? No, it don't. You know what I mean? Maybe I should just go get some groceries, pack, even try to cut back on certain things that, are unhealthy. You know what I mean? So I think that's definitely good. But I want to get into the meat of it, man. And that's the shock that I got when you said that there was a solar company, and yes, we're naming names. Okay. There was a solar company that blamed it on the tariff, or it might have came off like it was blamed on the tariff.
Mm-hmm.
To, I think you were buying a battery, right? And already they're saying that the tariffs caused it to go up what, almost 30 something percent. Tell me the story, and let's.
Yeah. I mean, basically, just like what you're saying, I need to upgrade my system. I need to buy another battery, especially with the summer coming. I want to put a mini split on my storage to keep it, not 1,000 degrees in the summertime. So I was looking just to buy the same battery I have. I got an EG4 wall mount battery. I bought this battery a year and a half ago. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull up the receipt while we're talking about it because I want to give.
Oh yeah, it's coming on the screen, guys. It's right there. It's right there on the screen right now. Check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
You can see what we're talking about.
I'm gonna read it out while y'all checking it out because I want to give
Yep.
exact information of when it all happened. But basically, I bought the battery. It was about $3,800. And this was November 2023. So about a year and a half ago, almost a year and a half ago. Yeah, 37.99 is what I paid out the door with the shipping.
Yep.
3,900. So I was looking to buy another one. EG4 has come out with more products in a year and a half. So usually, just like a car dealership, when you come out with a new car, the old car usually does not stay the same price. So I'm like, waiting.
Discounts. Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, hopefully soon, maybe this spring, they'll come down on the price on the battery a little bit. So I think this was like Sunday, just this past Sunday. Today's Wednesday. I was looking at it because I'm like, yeah, man, I need to really look into a battery so I can, do what I need to do, start expanding the farm and the growing and the mushroom and all that. And the price is, I think, $4,100 now. $4,100. So that's
Let's see.
I think that's
$4,100 a year and a half, guys. Put this in perspective, right? Like you said, when you go buy that new car, that 2023 model, 2024 model, that's just discounted. You're not paying the same prices for that. So we're gonna see what that percentage that they try to loop in there. What is that? Let's call it 4,000. 3,799, right?
Yeah, 3,799 to 4,099. So that's where the price has gone up to, and it just blew me away. It blew me away. So I'm obviously did not buy the battery as of right now, and I'm just well, before I go on, I want to see what that.
Yeah. But what's you said the final price? What was they trying to charge? 4,200.
4,099. Let me double check that.
Or 4,099. Yeah, just double check. We're about to get that percentage, guys. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on.
I get it right before we move forward. Okay. No, it's not popping. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
$4,099. Yep.
All right. So it went up 7.89% a year and a half later. A year and a half later, with like what an influx of new products that came out during that time. New batteries, new models, new
everything. And and like we know, our president right now is putting in the tariffs, which I am not totally against, because I understand that.
I'm not against it.
Yeah,
yep.
Understand.
It's a long-term plan. It's a long-term plan.
Yeah. So I'm not totally against it, but what I'm against is I really think, in my opinion, I think this company, all these companies, Signature Solar, EG4, because they have a stronghold on the market, and I'm gonna just preference this. I think the solar market is very shady, so I don't really hold it in high regard at all. So I'm just saying, because I talked to my father, I'm like, hey man, this tariff just went in effect like 2 weeks ago, so there's no way in the world that the shit they had in inventory, that they did not sell out all their inventory already, and now basing that price on the new shipment, they just going up on the price just because of the tariff. And and that's my opinion. I don't have any way to prove that, but let's be honest. Most companies have at least a 30-day,
net, right.
Yeah. So it's like
right. Supply chain, right.
So we talking about 30 days. I know the lithium is not from here. I know that. So I do expect it to go up, but it's just like, wow, man. You know what I'm saying? And then even if this does happen, and these things are happening, to me, they should be trying to figure out, how do we come out with something, a new product that's the same price point, even though it may be what they would call shrinkflation, even though it's maybe a little less, at least it's at the same price point. But no, they just go up on the price, and it's all good. We ain't here to hate. We ain't here to complain. We just here to navigate situations to see how they affect us. So people like me that are off-grid solar, I can see how, these are tariffs. Will affect the solar industry.
That's going to affect you.
Or so-called affect the solar industry. I'm not
right. Really sure. And I mean, see, a lot of that stuff comes from China, right? You said, when did they put out the tariffs, though? Because my thing is on freight. They're not just buying you your little one product to go on the shelf. They buying a mass amount of them that makes sense for shipping. The ship gotta ship. Okay, and then it got to take time. So definitely that wasn't a tariff issue, regardless of when 2 weeks, a month that the tariff came out. But still, something else you uncovered, though, because you said bump that. I'm gonna go to another company, right? That's the real part of this.
So what I've noticed, in the solar industry. So I had a problem with Signature Solar, and I don't agree with their business's practices. I'm gonna be straight up. I bought my EG4 battery from Signature Solar, and I don't agree with their practices totally. That's just my opinion. Um, but what I realized, because I was trying to buy another EG4 product and I didn't want to buy it from Signature Solar, I bought it from another website. And unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
the product was delayed for a while. I was on back order. So the lady called me and, I'm talking on the phone. She was like, yeah, well, it's probably going to be another month before this gets shipped out. And it's going to get shipped out from Signature Solar's warehouse. And I'm like, wait, what? I mean, I ordered this from you. I didn't order it. I'm thinking to myself, I didn't order this from Signature Solar. So, and that was my goal. But at the end of the day, it's all good. The goal didn't work. But what I realized is a lot of these other websites, Signature Solar is the big dog. EG4 is the big dog. They're two big dogs in play. And then I feel like Signature Solar is almost like almost like Amazon fulfillment, I guess. Because there's other people with other solar websites.
That
Nothing
get
on the
everything.
website says they're related to Signature Solar, but when they send the package out, they literally send me that package. The return address was Signature Solar, even though I ordered it from a whole nother website. So it shows you that EG4 just got to make one phone call, hey, raise the price up, and then everybody's price is going.
Everybody does it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's the other thing that I find shady is all the EG4 batteries are all at the same price. I did find one website that had it for cheaper, but they added on so much tax and all this other stuff. It ended up
it's not worth it.
More than the one that was 4,100. It's like
everybody's eating during these times, yo, except for you. Everyone's eating. You know what's crazy? I found, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen, guys. Here, look at this. Somebody says this is March 11th, right? This is a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So someone says, looks a lot like their prices has jumped. This is Signature Solar. Yeah. Look, and this is a forum, guys. Looks a lot like their prices has jumped. Yeah. Was thinking about grabbing some EG4 charge controllers and another pallet of panels, but I guess that's a no-go. Also, everything went up. This thing was from 465 to 720. Somebody else said, oh my God, I just looked. Mine's $13.99. It went to $16.99. Guess I'll pass for now. And it's just constantly everybody's saying this, but this happened. This is March 11th when they put this out. Today's March 26th. When did the increase in tariffs, were they purchasing this 4 months ago, waiting for you to order today? I mean, like, I don't get why or where this is coming from right now in the solar field. Maybe because you're right. There's a conglomerate. There's a box around it. There's two big doors, and they set the price. You know what that's called? Damn filibuster. I don't know what that's called. What do they call that?
Whatever it is. What?
Yeah, whatever
whatever that legal term is. I know what you're talking about, but it's just.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? They just hold up. They hold all the cards.
That's it, and that's it, and. Signature Solar EG4 warehouse big as fuck. Ain't no way in the world they done sold every single battery in less than 2 weeks. Right. That guy that's saying the 1300 to the 1600, that's the inverter. So we're talking about all products like that. You guys didn't sell out of all these products and just got a new ship in on March 20th. So it's just, man, it's part of the game, man. So you just got to really navigate your way around all of this, because it ain't just going to be in the solar, it's going to be on these other things, but it's just watching industries and watching how things work and watching how some people may be honest in this situation, but some companies may take advantage. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people don't even look at price. They just go scan, swipe, and keep it moving. They don't even really look at the incremental. A lot of these companies been getting you for a long time. You wouldn't even know it. Nobody looks at these incremental changes in the receipts. They're like, damn, yo, this went up. The only thing they notice is eggs. Everybody talk about eggs. They know the eggs, but they don't know nothing else. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a good feedback for all my smart movers out here, because if you're moving, you got to take into account all these things that come with the price, right? You're getting off land, you're doing your thing. sort of off grid or off grid, getting a container home, getting a farm. There's a lot of cost that comes with that. How can you narrow those down and make sure that you're making the right decisions for your pockets, man? You know, so, and that goes with everything that we've been talking about. But I want to give a shout out to your company.
Yes.
And I know you done some changes, but it's East Alabama Mushrooms, EA Mushrooms, eamushrooms.com, or is it EA Mushroom.com?
EA mushroom.
And I'm gonna put
yeah
mushrooms.com. We're putting it right here for you to see and for you to click. Let me know what you got on that website now. What can people get?
Right now we got mostly our dry mushrooms there, which are they're excellent. I actually whipped some up the other night, and I was actually blown away at the. It's just good, man. I ain't even gonna go into it because I'm about to eat them again tonight. It's good stuff. If you love mushrooms, it's for you. You can't buy these mushrooms in the store. Well, maybe you can at very specialty stores, but not the regular grocery store. But hey, man, this is grown off grid or all organic, no chemicals, no nothing. We don't do none of that. So that's where we at. East Alabama Mushrooms, eamushrooms.com. Check us out, man. We got the lion's mane powder down there. That's good for the cognitive health in the brain. We got the just looking at a couple of studies about how eating mushrooms a couple of times monthly reduces your all cancers, and especially breast cancer and prostate cancer. So that's from Harvard.
Why not?
It's highfalutin schools. So hey, man, if you want to live cancer free. And we can't say that absolutely, but you know what I'm saying. If you're just trying to live a more life of getting on that right track, man, we got some products for you. Just check it out, man. No pressure, no rushing. It's great, and also we also got videos on our YouTube, EA Mushrooms, showing you how to cook, recipes, the whole 9, the whole 10, man. So we just here to provide good quality products that help people and clean products, man, and good stuff. None of these chemicals and none of this, weird going up on the price with the tariff type stuff, man. We ain't with that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I told you what though. Them sloppy Joe mushrooms you created. My God, that might be my favorite though. It might be my favorite. I'm
about to get you. You know what? Now that you said that, I'm gonna try to make that with the dried mushrooms. So we got.
Yeah, please do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Check out his website, but furthermore, check out his YouTube channel where he does the whole cooking. You see it. It almost like, damn, why am I not eating mushrooms? Why am I not eating this mushroom?